Peacock here with Wilderness Innovation, and out in front of the cabin here I just decided to set up this tarp configuration here just to give you a little idea of what else you can do with our PSTs. This is actually two PSTs, our regular size tarp 7x7, but normally it's designed for use with one person. But say you're in a group or you got a couple people going along and you each have your own PST, you know, you can set them up independently over a hammock or something, but if you're going to maybe sleep on the ground or something like this, well, you can easily put these two together and create yourself a nice space here to sleep in. You could have a small fire out this direction or whatever, and you've got about a 10 by 6 floor area inside this tarp setup. So I'm going to show you one way you can set it up. I'm using an upright pole right here with a guy line, and just kind of show you. There's a lot of different ways you could set it up, but just want to show you the idea of how this is set up and how it goes together. So let me show you that right now. Okay, so what we've got here is, this is if you've seen some of our videos on the PSTs, you'll see this is a diamond pitch. So we're anchoring a corner, and the opposite corner is up in the air on this pole, and then we stake out the corner. So all we've done is take two of those, put them side by side, and kind of merge them together to create this larger shelter. Now you can see right here we've used a vertical post in the back right here to pull out on that center tab on the PST, and what that pulls back and gives some tension here, some pull and some lift, which gives you a little bit more headroom in there, and it gives some better stability in a storm or whatever. This particular setup has been up for a little over a week now, and been through several storms, spring storms, that sort of thing. And so here we did, I set this up at two different colors of PST just to make it easy to see, you know, kind of how this thing goes together. But so here's the MultiCam one here that I put up first, and then second I put up the Coyote one, and I'll do a little close-up here. But I overlapped them here so that it gives kind of a weather flap here where they come together, which you know, in the rains and stuff we've had, these spring rains and everything, I mean, there's been no leakage into the inside here. So now right down here you see, here's the MultiCam PST, comes across, and here's the corner tab to that is right here, and then the Coyote comes over, and here's the corner tab to that one. So we have an overlap of this much right here, and that extends up to the top. It kind of narrows in a pie shape towards the top. And what I did here, so I just used one tent stake, is I took the second, it's not the corner one, but the next one over of the Coyote, and I shoved that tab through the tab from the MultiCam, and then I just used one tent stake to pull this down. It gives a real nice tension on this thing all the way up, and sheds water really nicely, and it works really well. And you can see here on the Coyote one, I actually tied off to this tab and that tab, because the PSTs have two tabs in the middle section, one in the very center and one between the center and one corner. And I pulled up on both of those. Our primary wind direction comes from this direction, so I wanted to pull up on both of those just to give it a little more support against the prevailing winds. So now, right here, we were holding this deal. I made a video on tying the pulley knot that holds this parachute cord that pulls on this support pole. So that's another video you can look at. I won't go into that in detail, but anyway, essentially this pole and then this parachute cord is actually holding this whole thing tight, because everything else is staked out to the ground and pulled back this way, So this one parachute cord pulling out this way is what pulls all the tension on this thing and keeps this thing nice and tight. And so they showed a separate video just how to do that one knot. Now there's another optional way you could do this. Instead of having this post right here, you could have kind of a shear setup where you have two poles. Maybe one's got a fork in it or something that comes up here. So you'd go from down in the corner there up to here and then back down there, and then you tie it off the same kind of way as this, and you wouldn't have any pole in the middle here. So that's another option. The third way you could do it is you could do that sort of thing, and you could have a pole that goes out the back side, and then you kind of jam it into the ground so it pushes this pole out. So there's nothing out front here at all, and you could have you a nice fire right out here if you wanted to, you know, several feet back from the shelter, and that would reflect a lot of radiant heat into there to warm that up. So that's another way you could do it. You know, same kind of deal. And if you've seen some of our videos on the super shelters, Morris Kahansky's type of deal there, you can put a sheet of plastic over the entrance of this as well, and you could have your fire out here, have your space blanket, emergency blanket inside attached to the roof of the shelter, and you'd be, you know, 75 degrees inside of there in the middle of the winter. So this is just another option. We wanted to show that you know, a way of combining gear. So if you didn't want to carry one big tarp with you, you could carry two regular sizes and split the load between two people, and then when you get there you can use them independently or put them together in there's a lot of different, we call this a combination setup because we're using more than one tarp, but you could do something like this and turn it into a nice cozy little shelter, that sort of thing. Inside the shelter here, I've got one sleeping setup here with one of our PSBs, personal survival blankets, and so we can put that one there. We can put another one out here, and I'm not even close to the end on this side, so I can go back this way. There's plenty of room out on that end to store your backpacks and stuff like that, kind of in out of the weather. Or you can leave this stuff pulled back, and you could put like a gas stove or something like that, so you're back under the shelter, so you can have two people in here inside the shelter, cook over here, have your sleeping gear over here, and you do all that with a couple of these PST tarp shelters. So anyway, this Perry Peacock, I had promised here in the last couple of years to try to show people a lot more of the ways that you can use these tarp shelters, and that's the reason, one of the reasons we really like them is because you have a lot of availability of different things you can do with them, the ways you can set them up. And so a lot of these little videos like this you're going to see, we're going to show you a lot of different ways to use these things. So if you have one, you can see it, get a lot of ideas on the different ways you can set them up. So I'm getting ready to head on a trip here this coming week, so I might get a little bit more put up before I go, but anyway, I'm going to enjoy my time in the outdoors. Hope you do too. Take advantage of shelters like these tarp shelters, or these personal survival blankets that we have as well, that work very good, either wet or dry, to try to keep you warm in any circumstance. So take care, have a great day, and we'll see you in the outdoors.